This review is a full and detailed review, by the way, so there will be spoilers. Hello everyone, happy Monday to you, and I'm back with a new book review. So we're going to be using this room from now on because I just like the lighting in here way better. There's just so much of naturalness that comes through, and I feel like that's kind of, ironically, it kind of works out with a lot of my reviews and favorite lists and stories and everything, just, you know, filled up with natural lighting, as well as like naturally coming out here and talking to you in a very genuine way about how much I love all of my stuff that I'm mentioning. So anyways, some stuff is going to be slowly moved around. There might be something else back here. I might not actually just film in this one spot in particular, but that's kind of the plan at the moment. Today's book that I'm talking about is by Kelly Elliott, and it's called Hearts in Motion. And I will tell you this, first chapter had me hooked immediately. So let's just go ahead and recap, review, and rate this book overall. So let's go ahead and just get started with this blurb first, and yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. Brian Rogers thought her life was as normal could be, even better than normal. She has a thriving career as a lawyer in Boston. Friends and family back in her hometown of Boggy Creek love her and adore her. And her boyfriend, Luke Morrison, showers her with love and attention, making her life finally feel complete. But when Brighton discovers what life with a famous actor is all about, her normal life is turned upside down. All this time, Brighton felt that what they shared was genuine, that Luke was her forever, but now she can't help but wonder, what if it was all an act? Was she playing a role she had no idea she'd been cast in? So she does the one thing she can do and runs straight back into the safety of Boggy Creek. Luke Morrison never imagined he would entertain the thought of leaving behind his successful career as an actor. Not just any actor, one of the top paid actors in Hollywood. But the moment he meets Brighton on a blind date, his life is changed forever. The only problem is balancing his career while attempting to keep his private life just that, private. When one too many misunderstandings happen because of the press, Brian breaks up with Luke, causing him to rethink what lies ahead in his future. A future he cannot imagine without Brighton Rogers in it. But Brighton is no ordinary woman, and winning her back will force Luke to make one of the biggest sacrifices he's ever made. One he is positive he can make, because a life without Bree in it is no life at all. Now, to win back the love of his life and prove to her she is all that matters to him. Okay, spoiler alert is official now. Now, we did get a nice backstory from Brighton in the previous book. In the beginning, Brighton is working at her mom's bed and breakfast inn, and she realizes her mom's guest at the end is Luke Morrison. Well, her ex-boyfriend, this is her ex-boyfriend that she mentioned in the previous book. So then the book launches into the story of how they met and where it all went wrong. So Brian attends a party for the law firm she works for. Her boss at one point had caught her being on the phone trying to get into this country club for her guy friends, and he had overheard it, and he got on the phone and basically told this guy to make it happen. And then she discovered that her boss needed a favor, and his favor is to basically be his son's date for this Christmas party, which she does accept it and everything because, you know, her boss did help her out, so she said yes. He did hint that Luke and him are not close at all. And Bryden starts making assumptions that Luke prefers the company of men, if you get my meaning. So when she sees Luke for the first time, she immediately thinks he looks like Gene Kelly, who is also a very good looking man. If you've ever seen a picture of Gene Kelly, like, wow, he's a good looking man back in his day. And therefore Luke looks like Gene Kelly to her. She also hints and tells Luke that it's okay that he's not into women. Which, that assumption just entertains Luke kind of, not really throughout the evening, but, you know, just like, yeah, like into the evening he, you know, he shows off his dance skills, he shows how polite he is and everything, and, you know, Bryden's just thinking, oh my gosh, this guy's too good to be true. Hate to think that he's that he's into men. But when he tells her that he isn't, and that he would like to spend more time with her, they do, like, they basically just kiss and everything, and then thus beginning their romantic relationship. Anyway, so Luke is an actor, and Bryden knows he's an actor too. She knows how famous he is as well. Because at first when they had met, she had no idea he was an actor. She had no idea. He actually is going by a different stage name, basically. He doesn't go by Luke Morrison, he goes by, like, Luke Walters. Now, Luke doesn't want to have reporters and paparazzi taint their relationship that is still brand new. Hank, who is also around and everything, and drives Luke around, and he's also his business partner, his best friend, and his confidant. Hank does encourage Luke to show Bryden what it would be like, or what would happen if she is exposed to the public. Because at this point, it's been 4 months since they started this secret romance with he's been with someone who is not a celebrity, who is a successful lawyer who works for his father. And Luke isn't sure if Bryden can handle the spotlight, and he's not sure if he can handle the spotlight on Bryden. You know, I understand at this point he wants to keep them in their little bubble, but at the same time, someone is going to figure it out that he's with someone who is not a celebrity, and then that person would expose her to the public before he could, or before they have a chance to. So when he travels to Boston from California, the two always stay at Bryden's place or his place. And when they go out to dinner, she always meets him, and they always sit in a secluded area so that nobody can actually, like, recognize him, and it hides her. And basically they try not to gain a lot of attention. And Luke's parents obviously know about the relationship because of Luke's father, and Bryden did meet Luke's mom at the Christmas party as well, and immediately she started liking her and everything. Like, Bryden gets along great with his mom. But Bryden's parents and friends have no idea that she is even in a relationship. And she doesn't, Brian doesn't want, Brian, by the way, his nickname is Bree, so we might just call her Bree for the rest of the time, and might switch over to Brighton just because, like, confusion. So anyways, she doesn't want him to think that she is ashamed of Luke, but it's the feeling of pressure by her own mother to start planning a wedding with his mother. So it's one of those things of kind of being afraid of what kind of craziness that her parents can do when they find out that she's in a relationship. So she isn't open with her parents about her personal life because she knows what kind of reaction they can have. Now flash forward for a few months later. Luke gets an offer to be in an A-list movie, and he couldn't refuse this. It's an offer he couldn't refuse. And they were filming in Canada at the time. Well, the filming of the movie is done, and he was back in LA. The only person Brian has told about their relationship is Wendy, who is her assistant. And Wendy comes running into Brian's office with an article and shows her the magazine about Luke Walters, his stage name, seen outside a hotel with a woman named Kathleen Daughtry. And they were holding hands in this photo. And it's, obviously it's a picture included, that's why I said photo. But anyway, Bree knows exactly who Kathleen is since she is from Boggy Creek Valley. And, Kathleen doesn't have a very great track record when it comes to men, especially men who are rich. So this does worry Bree, and she's rightfully so worried. And she does confront him about the article. And Bree isn't the jealous type, but in that moment she just feels it. He explains that Kathleen and him were at the hotel to sign up for this movie with the director, that they would be filming in the New York area, which does make sense. She did ask about the hand-holding part, and what he had said to her was he was just trying to get them quickly into the limousine because there was paparazzi taking photos, and what she didn't see in one of the photos was the director was following them and getting into the same limousine. So it was kind of cut off to make it look like there was something else going on there. They do talk about the subject of going public again, but Brian still isn't comfortable with the idea. But 5 months later, a picture of Brian with Luke surfaces. And by this time, word had been spreading around that Luke has been seeing someone. And at this point, they have been feeling lost at their relationship. Bree has been traveling back to Boggy Creek to see her friends and her family, just to find something that makes her not feel like she's lost. And Hank mentioned Brian had declined to see the premiere of Luke's movie that he had been filming with Kathleen. But as it turns out, Brian went to go surprise him. And unfortunately, Kathleen was clinging on to Luke so hard that at one point or another, she tries to kiss him. And she does end up doing that, but he does push her away. But right after he pushes her away, he sees that Brian had seen the kiss, and she takes off running, and he runs after her to try to catch up with her and let her know that that's not what she had seen this entire time. Kathleen was just so clingy to him and everything, and so she basically just kind of like runs away. Now, Luke had been trying to get a hold of Brighton at her office, at her house, just trying to talk with her. But she doesn't want to see him. However, they do end up seeing each other in Brian's office. He finally gets in there to see her. This confrontation was honestly pretty big. Brian was hurt because Luke wanted to meet her there instead of picking her up and escorting her to the premiere. And Luke had pointed out that Kathleen was most likely just trying to get Brian jealous. And, Brian asked, why would she be trying to get me jealous? And he said it's because they had hooked up a long time ago. And Brian then just admits that she is done with this, she calls it a part-time charade, and not telling anyone that they're together. She can't even go out in public with him without the paparazzi or anything like that. And Luke, he throws it right back at her that she has not talked about him to her parents. And she kept him a secret from her friends and her family. So they end up splitting up because they just don't see eye to eye. Now we are in present day. Luke asks why Bree had left. And she said it was because a reporter came by and had asked about him, and she was just like, if one can come by, any of them could come by. So she ends up leaving and going back to Boggy Creek. Then he, when she asks him, why are you here, he informs her that they are shooting a film nearby. So you immediately know this is going to be so much fun to read, because it's like, got to deal with those moments that are going to be happening now, which I love these moments. I love these types of moments. So anyway, when Brian's friend and sometimes foe, Kyle, comes by to wish her a happy birthday, she gets him to pretend to be her boyfriend in front of Luke, and even they kiss in a passionate way just to play it up. And Luke doesn't believe the act, considering that he is an actor, so he knows everything about what bad acting looks like and what good acting looks like, and apparently this was just bad acting. So he can tell the difference. So slowly, Kyle, Candace, and the rest of Brian's friends learn the whole story. Arabella had already known because Brian told her in the previous book. They all knew about Luke from the Christmas party story about this one being her blind date. However, Brian didn't tell them that Luke is a famous actor and that they had been together for a year. And Brian tells her parents about Luke, finally. They knew he was an actor, and he even had told everyone at the inn when they were all having breakfast or they were all having dinner or something, that he would love it if they would respect his privacy and not say everything, or not tell anyone, to the point where they would need protection for him or something like that. He just doesn't want to be, he doesn't want to have so much attention, especially since he's there to win back the women that he loves. But Brian's parents figure out that something is going on with Brian because about Luke, it was about Luke, because because they notice that she's so eerily calm about it, and they know that she knows him. So she finally does tell him the truth, that they've been together and everything, which makes her mom so happy. So with much encouragement from friends and family, Luke and Brian go out to eat and they talk. And it's really sweet because it's the first time they entered a restaurant together and they sat down together and ate there together. And you know, they talk. They shed tears. Brian learns this is Luke's last movie that he's filming. And after that, he just wants to have a good life, but he wants to have a good life with her. He's doing all of this just for her. Honestly, my heart exploded at that moment because it was like, that is so sweet. Because it's like, you know, at one point during the book, Kyle, Brian's friend, does talk about how love does require sacrificing, and it's very true. Love does require sacrifice. And, you know, you sacrifice a lot when you're in a relationship. You know, you might not think that you do, but you do. And it's like anything between dreams and the smallest things. Like, you know, it just does happen. It does happen. But instead of running away, you know, you work through it because you love each other. And you know you can overcome anything. But I'm so sorry, you guys. But that's actually where I'm stopping at in this review. And it's only because I know that I've spoiled this story for those who are fans of Kelly Elliott's books. But at the same time, I'm not sorry because for spoiling this, because I love her and her books as well. So I'm excited to read her next one. Yeah, so I am going to stop there. I want you guys to actually read this book because, in all honesty, it is filled with drama, comedy, romance, steamy scenes, just like very sweet family moments, and just even hilarious moments too. It has a lot of mom moments, if you know what I mean. But yeah, so anyways, that's good. That's why I'm stopping here. So thank you, Grace Promotions and Kelly Elliott, for providing an ARC of Hearts in Motion for me. I really do appreciate it. I loved this book. Please give this video a like and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a really good week, and I will see you all in the next review.